Chuckles? I think we're in business. Good morning, Miss D.
Good morning, Thomas.
Love the hat. Good morning, Captain Frawley, sir.
Thomas, good morning. Come in. Let's get that morning chill off you, son. You want some coffee?
Oh, I just had breakfast. You're my first stop.
Busy day?
Not busy enough. It always needs more typers to work on. No complaints, though.
How's Chuckles?
Still thinks he owns the place. Well, I figure he's onto something since I'm the one who carries his poop around while he sniffs all the dog's butts. How about you, Cap? Any word from your granddaughters? How's college?
Oh, they're fine. They're still spending their parents' inheritance. You sure you're too busy to take out the oldest? I'm sure she'd give a young business owner like you a run for his money.
No, I'm good. I'm sure she could do better than an old typewriter repairman like me.
You old? Please. You're smart. You're a colored feller. You have class. You're a gentleman. That's all I want for my girls.
Thanks, Captain Farley. Hey, where's that old road you called me about? The shift key still not working?
Yeah.
Attention on deck.
Yep, that's gonna hurt.
Oh, I see what you're going.
Sorry she blows.
So, how much will you take for this?
That's a one-of-a-kind intaglio that we acquired at an estate sale. The woman who owned it worked for John F. Kennedy. I was told he gave it to her as thank you for years of service.
Years of service. Good one.
Here, sweetheart, you try it on. Walk around the shop, see if it speaks to you.
Every item has a story.
And there's a story in every item. Good morning, Thomas.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. How's business?
Good. Grateful that you're bringing me more work.
You need to start advertising on social media. Go online.
Jean, do you know how many people tell me, go online, go online? You gotta use social media. You gotta get on Facebook.
Instagram.
I don't wanna live my life that way. I told you, I don't even own a computer.
Child, you are missing out. I'm telling you, there are so many opportunities out there. You do amazing work. People need to hear about you. They need to be able to reach you.
We made it to the moon and back without the internet or even personal computers. Besides, I figure I can get myself across the city just fine. And if I really need to use a computer, I can use the ones at the library. It's a little quiet nowadays, but I like it there. Oh, I got a phone.
Wow, a razor. I haven't seen one of those since I was a kid.
Yeah, it reminds me of the communicators on Star Trek.
Picard. I love that show.
Star Trek. Captain James T. Kirk. William Shatner. Story, not special effects. have a girlfriend yet?
Thank you very much. No, Jean, I'm holding out for a woman like you.
Well, you're not going to find me at the library. You should try an online dating site.
What's an online dating site?
How are you ever going to find customers? Your soulmate.
Word of mouth. Tell your friends.
One sec.
Good morning. I'm Thomas Tyndall from Tyndall Typewriters. You must be Miss Turner.
Ellen, please, come in.
So I understand you have a Hermes 3000 that needs attending to. The Cadillac of typewriters.
The Cadillac of typewriters? I don't know about that. All I know is that I can't seem to get it working. I bought it on eBay after seeing videos of it on YouTube. I thought it was beautiful. The colors, the lines. I thought about getting it painted Ferrari red.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't. This is one of the most sought-after manual typewriters on the market since Tom Hanks shined a spotlight on it. Its color is one of its best features.
Oh yeah, I saw that film. I saw the Hermes and knew I had to get one. Who knew I'd get a lemon?
Oh, well, let me take a look.
Hello, Betsy. What's wrong?
Ellen, thank God you picked up.
I can't. I'm in a meeting right now. I took the call because you texted 911.
Can we FaceTime? Please, it's an emergency.
No, I can't FaceTime right now. Fine.
He's going to leave me.
Slow down, Betsy. We're talking about a lemon meringue pie.
No. If I can't make this, I'm gonna lose him. My sister just had a wedding and he didn't want to go with me, and I know it was because of my cake.
Betsy, keep stirring the lemon curd or it'll turn into scrambled eggs. Turn down the heat. Sweetie, I can't talk anymore right now. I'm in the middle of something. You'll be fine. It'll all be fine. I'll call you later. Okay. Sorry about that. I was a student. I teach an online cooking school. And those ladies, they think I'm a psychiatrist.
Believe me, I totally understand.
Okay, you got my full attention. So, what's wrong with my Cadillac?
I suspect it's a little bit of OE.
OE?
Oh, operator error. Let me talk to you about it. Show me what's going on with your typewriter.
Oh, well, the doohickey here is jammed. The guy who sold it to me said it was in perfect working order.
Well, that's because it's locked. See, if you press here and here, it releases the segment, and you can move the carriage freely.
Well, I feel like an idiot.
No shame, and no charge. This technology is older than both of us. Honestly, I'd be shocked if you'd ever used a typewriter before, especially a manual one.
Touche. I bought it because I thought it matched the theme of my kitchen.
And it does. Like to give it a try?
Okay.
So, fair enough. Okay. You're authorized.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. What should I type?
I find it's best to go with something you know, something you're experienced with.
How about the story of a woman who went bankrupt starting her restaurant in Manhattan because she had terrible people skills?
let's give it a try. Come now, Alan. Do you think this machine wants to be tickled? You'll never make music that way. Strike the keys. You can't hold it down too long like that, or else the slugs will stick to the paper and your words will get smudged. Strike the keys as if you were playing the piano.
I'm trying. I just think I'm overthinking this.
Are you a chef or a teacher?
I'm a chef. That's all I've ever wanted to be. Turns out being a chef is more about being a manager. And as I say, those who can't do, teach.
Well, I'd say you're a storyteller.
You calling me a liar?
No. But the way I see it, cooking is storytelling, but it's even more powerful. You're feeding the body and the mind. If you do it right, you can connect to all of another person's basic senses, from sight to smell to taste to touch to even sound. You're taking something you create, and it's literally entering another person's body, nourishing them, helping them live, and giving them a memory they may never forget. So tell me, how do you know you've done a good job teaching if you can't taste it yourself?
That's the beauty of it. You don't know until after they've experienced what you've created with them. They trust you, and after they eat it, that's when you know if that trust is justified.
Spoken like a true storyteller. I think you're ready to start writing.
There was a homeless man who'd always gone out of his way to clean up the park. He used to be the owner of a Michelin star restaurant that went belly up and lost everything to the bank. He'd forgotten that diners went out for an experience, but he focused solely on the food. Despite this, he took pride in his new home. He even helped food truck vendors whenever they needed a hand, assisting in the preparation of food from time to time. They appreciated him. He was the mayor of the park. He fancied a kind woman who, despite her very demanding schedule, always took time to give an appropriate donation to the people she saw asking for help. On hot days, she'd give water, and on cold days, she'd discreetly provide pairs of gloves or wool hats, never wanting to call attention to her acts of charity. While helping them close up and clear their areas of garbage, the vendors would joke with the man about his obvious and genuine feelings for the woman. They'd encourage him daily to tell her, but he always declined, feeling as though he had nothing to offer. In the midst of conversation one day, a vendor mentioned that he and the others were going to have to close up shop because of change of zoning laws. Thinking more of his vendor friends than himself, the homeless man asked, "What are you going to do if that happens?" "I guess we'll have to move on. Or shut down completely. This is happening all over the city." The next afternoon, the woman sat down on a park bench, preparing to enjoy her typical brown bag lunch. Then, out of nowhere, a man wearing a tuxedo sets a table in front of her, and another person covers it with a white linen cloth, while a third person silently places plates, silverware, and fine china, creating an exquisite setting. She takes out her cell to record and share the moment when one of the waiters returns and politely asks that she place her phone in a beautiful redwood box. She does. He closes the gold latch and he carries it away. Water and wine are poured, and a small bowl of chowder is placed before her with a silver spoon. The owner of Charlie's Chowder Truck looks on as she spies around for signs of where this came from. She tastes a small sample and is impressed with the quality. Other lunchgoers stop their snacking and start recording what they're seeing. As she is about to finish, a team of waiters seamlessly choreograph the transition to the salad course. A person patiently waits for her to choose which dressing she likes, then vanishes as fast as he appeared. The woman who owns the vegetarian food truck peeks from the truck to see if she's enjoying the meal. Yes, the look on her customer's face says it all. The next course is from the truck that specializes in grilled steak, a very common comfort food on the street, which now takes a completely different look and sensation because it's served on the highest quality of Wedgwood plate, along with a fresh glass of wine. As she finally sits back to let it all settle in, the homeless man who arranged all of this brings her ice cream in a chilled metal bowl. He looks back at the vendor who provided it and gives him a knowing wink. Espresso is served while the homeless man sits and explains to the woman that each dish was provided by the local food trucks. She looks around, and they all nod in acknowledgement of the joy their food brought her. Her phone is returned to her. The homeless man bows as he retreats into the park, absorbed by the community. In the end, she realizes that he has taught her the beauty of living in the moment and the importance of experiencing life and the people right in front of her instead of living in a world that she cannot touch. She gathers her phone and notebook, traveling back to her office at City Hall. The proposed zoning code was rejected. Thank you for coming to help me. Thomas. Have lunch with me. Ever heard the tale of the croque monsieur?
No. Who's he?
He is a grilled cheese sandwich.